I'd say the global AI landscape is about to be turned upside down. Here's why. Stanford's Institute for Human-Centered AI released a new report stating that U.S. private AI investment hit $285.9 billion, while China saw only $12.4 billion. The U.S. owns 5,427 data centers. No other country holds even one-tenth of that count. I expected the conclusion to be that China's AI lags far behind the US, but it claimed the gap is basically gone. Can you believe it, bro? Know why your uni funding got cut? How could you just spill the truth like that? That's knowing the tech but failing the PR. The current AI landscape isn't just about an arms race of parameters, scale, or data centers anymore. Many top experts agree that road is hitting a dead end. We must shift our mindset to integrate AI into diverse scenarios, fostering real-world applications and gathering data through human interaction. Then feed that back into iterative intelligence. In other words, we need a digital foundation for every industry, making AI accessible to those who can't code or don't know tech, allowing ordinary people with real needs to reap the benefits, build apps, and solve their own problems. Could it be that simple? So today, forget the unified messaging between nations or comparing stats and industry gaps. Let's look at this AI race from a different angle. In this contest, will we still be crossing the river by feeling the eagle? Monkey King. Come on. Hi everyone. I'm Mashu Bobby. Honestly, crossing by feeling the eagle works fine otherwise. Why would the eagle write such a big book of mistakes, actually? Stanford's report has one great point. It shows us private AI investment in 2025 reached $285.9 billion, more than 20 times that of China. This contrast tells the whole story. Note that high private investment means these funds come from super-rich donors, venture capitalists, and the like. They aren't doing charity. Their goal is clear: ensure the AI results lead, directly or indirectly, to a monopoly in their business sectors. To recover costs and maximize profits is simple, whether you admit it or not. In a capitalist society, AI investment is ultimately aimed at establishing a monopoly. The result is, US AI development will mirror the pre-AI era, birthing niche technologies with deep, solid moats. For latecomers, catching up is extremely difficult. For instance, in pharma, they've invested real cash, trained talent, and built patent walls. We admit this, and this is where we can follow the eagle. That's our tactic, chasing their technical achievements. But strategically, we can't follow that route. AI as a new revolution should aim for universal benefit, creating an ecosystem for the average person. Participation means more than just usage. It means building and sharing, possessing the power to embrace and uplift common people. Leaving aside distant examples, at this year's Huawei Developer Conference, there were two small stories in the harmonious ecosystem that help us understand our path. The first one is called Ma Shangfei. The name's a bit punny, but it basically means if you're in the Harmony ecosystem, you take off instantly. But the story it tells is very simple and aligns perfectly with the present. Could an ordinary person who can't code build a tool of their own in the past? The answer was a hard no. Say an auntie doing wholesale in Yi wants an inventory management. Big tech won't build it for her because the niche is too small. If you find an outsourcing firm, check the quote. Check your wallet. It's honestly quite shocking. Trying to learn to code. That's just way too sci-fi. So the needs of the masses exist, but they struggle to survive in the market. The beauty of the Mei Shangfei case is exactly here, focusing on what everyone else ignores. A true necessity that empowers ordinary people, shifting them from mere users to creators. Of course, this doesn't mean becoming programmers, but rather having an ecosystem. Data links, AI agents, app generation, and cross-device adaptation. This allows anyone to innovate, even launch a one-person startup in the AI era. Ultimately, it might just be an aunt using a tool to build a simple app. But that simplicity is exactly what makes it so significant. True inclusion often begins with small tasks no one else does for you. A grocery app, a quit smoking game, a local stray cat management tool, a quirky family memo, an app tracking how many days the press office director has not cooked, etc. Can such things shift the global landscape? The answer is no, but they can change an individual's day. And if enough people are empowered, it might eventually change the course of history. This is the first story I want to share after the conference, reflecting the Harmony ecosystem, empowering individuals to do great things. What about the second story? The second story supplements the first, about a student from Bosnia named Liraksi, who studied in China for 3 years, and his journey into the Harmony development ecosystem. So, what was his happiest moment? Learning the subtle difference between everything is fine and everything is ruined. And which one is actually worse? That is a horror movie level of difficulty. Folks, he started by thinking these tech terms were just myths. He dove in, developing an app called Prism, which helps with Chinese learning by letting users role-play AI scenarios like job interviews or bargaining. It turns language learning into an RPG. In short, a cross-cultural developer seamlessly integrated into the ecosystem. By connecting this to previous tools, it's clear Harmony isn't an island developers everywhere can turn ideas into reality. That is what an ecosystem means. Even global accessibility apps are joining now. So, many things aren't about profit, but about serving people. As people say, AI is a new industrial revolution. Since it is a revolution, it shouldn't just serve the few or act as a moat for monopolies, but answer a simple question. When the world moves fast, what happens to those who are left behind these two stories? Answer it well. Let ordinary people participate and let them benefit. Technology should build bridges, not walls. Currently, there are 66 million devices and 11 million registered developers, a truly staggering number. The stories we saw at the conference are the fresh sprouts of this ecosystem. For us Chinese, if we rephrase it, it becomes even easier to understand. If you want wealth, build roads. Progress isn't just produced by elites or labs, just as not all match results are determined in a meeting room. History is changed by millions who participate, use, and adapt technology into their lives. In the AI era, we need roads to the future, not towers to worship. That is exactly what Harmony is doing. In this ecosystem, no one fights alone as sparks gather into a galaxy. It empowers countless developers and in turn relies on them to go further, taking us all further. Finally, what I want to say is we acknowledge that different development paths exist and the advantages they bring. Yet, we need not belittle ourselves, for the Chinese possess their own methods and logic, and time will reveal the right path. So, wait, let the dust settle. Thanks, I am Mochi Bobby. If you enjoy my videos, please like and follow.